Um, in this example, let us use grouping method to do two things. One is to factor, and then the second example will be to solve an equation. So to factor using the grouping method. The grouping method is used each time we have more than 3 terms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's more than 3. And using grouping method, we'll look at the terms in pairs. So from the first pair, what is the most we can factor? Well, that would be x to the 2. And that would leave us with x minus 1. From the second group, from the second pair, we can factor out positive 4. And that would leave us with x minus 1 inside the second set of parentheses. Since both parentheses are exactly the same, we can factor out x minus 1. And that would leave us with x squared plus 4 in the second set of parentheses. And that is it. That is the final answer to how to factor our original polynomial. In the next example, let us use grouping to solve. So here's the next example. Solve x cubed minus x squared minus 3x plus 3 is 0. We first will factor. And since again we have more than 3 terms, we use grouping method. From the first 2 terms, we can factor out x to the 2. And that again will leave us with x minus 1. Now from the second group, we can either take out plus 3 or minus 3. If we take out plus 3, that would not work because that would give us negative x plus 1 inside the parentheses, and we see that all the signs are exactly backwards. Plus x, minus 1, plus 1. If all the signs inside the second parentheses were different or opposite, then it would be a perfect fit. And to get there, all we need to do is factor out negative 3 as opposed to plus 3. So let's do that. Let's change this to negative 3, and then that would make plus x and minus 1 inside the parentheses. So now the two parentheses are exactly the same, we can factor out x minus 1, and that would leave us with x to the 2 minus 3 in the second set of parentheses. Now, since we have factored, we now have two things multiplied together to make a 0. And that means either x minus 1 is 0 or x squared minus 3 is 0, because there is no way to multiply two numbers and get a 0 unless one of them happens to be 0. We can try it, like 2 times 5, not 0. 5 times 8, not 0. 5 times 0 is 0. One of these numbers must be 0. And so, how could this be? Well, if x minus 1 is 0, that means x is 1. So that's one of the answers. And if x squared minus 3 is 0, then we can add 3 to both sides and get x squared is 3. To cancel the square, we use square root of both sides, and each time we take square root, we add plus minus, because there will be 2 solutions. So we now have x is 1, x is square root of 3, and x is negative square root of 3. And that's it. That's how to use the factoring, the grouping method to factor, and these are some cases where we might run into this technique. And that's it for this video. Thank you for your time. Take care.